Greetings friends, it's me, Wayman29. This is a video in response to John Marcus's video. John Marcus, why OT God seems cruel. I cannot trust John Marcus to give an overview on why the Old Testament God is cruel, and I'll tell you why. John Marcus may have or may know the Christianized, evangelical, romanticized history of the Old Testament. However, that might not be necessarily accurate in the historical, secular context. And I'll tell you what I mean. For example, most Christians who try to answer this question pretty much only read the book of John and the writings of Paul. That's it. So they base their theological worldview on such ideas. And they might throw in some modern views, which the age of accountability is brought up. You can trace that back. You can see where that idea starts. It's fairly recent. You know, we're not going way back to Egypt with this at all. Why are the gods so cruel? In a historical context, everybody was involved, and the ideas of the Hebrews were not out of place with the nations coming out of the ancient Near East. You had national deities, and just to give a text that I have read that proves that other people were involved in such thinking, I'll give two. The travel of Ra through the underworld, where light defeats darkness. Here, once every day, all the people who were the enemies of Ra, the enemies of Horus, were destroyed. So, what's that tell you? If you're not on the side of Egypt, you're an enemy of Horus, and you're doomed. Also, the Moabite Stone. Flipping over to Kings, 2 Kings 3:27. Here's a Moabite king. He's in a battle with Israel, and the Moabite deity was Chemosh. He was the deity of the Moabites, and here the king of Edom sacrifices his son to the god Chemosh. The god Chemosh answers his prayer and drives off the Israelis. And he took his firstborn, who would reign after him, and brought him up for a burnt offering on the wall. And there was great wrath upon Israel, and they withdrew from him and returned to the land. Here, Yahweh's defeated. Now, if you look up that Moabite text and the definition of it, even from the Jewish Encyclopedia, they even state the national god of the Moabites. He became angry with his people and permitted them to become vassals of Israel. His anger passed, and he commanded Mesha to fight against Israel. So, there you have it, friends. Everybody was involved. Cruel things happened, and the whole ancient Near East at this time period was slice and dice. And even if you look at it in a modern historical context, you could ask the question, why is the God of America so cruel? You know, America, all of its wars and slice and dice, but is America, the God of America, if you're going to say that theologically, any different from the God of Sudan, where civil war and strife happens all the time? Or is this just the world that we live in, and the wars and the triumphs are attributed to the deities, and the setbacks are seen as punishments by the deities? So everybody did it. There's probably better ways to explain suffering and why things happen. And I would encourage people to read more and kind of break themselves out of this worldview that has been hijacked by Christian evangelicals. So open up some books, friends. Read the theologies of these other nations. The Amorites, the Hittites, they all did slicing and dicing. Babylonians burned cities to the ground. Even more modern Romans did that stuff. So I don't see any videos on, how come the Roman gods are so cruel? How come, Zeus or Juno so cruel? What's up with that? So take care, friends, and don't get caught up in all this theological talk. Look at it from the historical and it may make some better sense. So take care, friends. The sky is not falling. And remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.